Welcome to Woodie's house. This is world first. So here's how the story goes. Mum's 50th birthday. I had an events business at the time. Mum and Dad were together still, celebrities about, Jamie Oliver cooking, had the light up floor, marquee in the garden, all designed by my events company at the time. Banging little party, right? I decided to book a stripper. The party's underway, dinner's finished, everyone's gathered round, strippers turn up. Stop there for a minute, and fast forward 2 years. That stripper went on X Factor, did really well. Ended up being Chico. So before Chico was famous, Chico was a stripper that I hired for my mum's birthday. So Chico turns up, big fur coat, chest out, wagwan. Keith Richards is there. Keith Richards gets the right? Don't like Chico, right? Pulls out this massive chip, it's like a ratchet knife, put your finger in it, right? Goes to Chico. Everyone's freaking out, Patty, wife, dad, everyone's screaming. It's a ratchet knife, so as you put your finger in, you go to close it, and as you close it, you can catch your finger. Anyway, he's done just that. He's closed the knife on his finger, blood everywhere, knife's gone flying, it's all on the floor. Party sort of dies down after that. A little bit somber. We get it all tidied up and there. I look on the floor, there's the knife. I pick up the knife, in a bag, boom, and I saved it. I saved it all these years, exactly the same, perfectly preserved, right? In fact, my mate preserved it for me. So it's about a year ago, I'm sitting there with my mate, and he's got some Gary Payton sauce. And I'm like, what's that? And he's Gary Payton, I think he's an NBA player. So I've gone, well, why is it called Gary Payton? And he's like, I don't know. So I Googled it, why is it called Gary Payton? Well, it's because he went for a meeting with Burner, and they decided to do a Gary Payton strain. And that was it, there was no real reason. So I got thinking about the blood, about the knife, about Keith Richards' DNA. And I thought to myself, if I can extract the DNA from the knife, from the blood from the knife, I can then put it into a feed and actually feed a cannabis plant with Keith Richards' DNA. Keith, don't hate me for this, dude. I've got to do it, dude. And remember, I saved your ass in St. Bart's. You could have got beaten up there if it wasn't for me, so let me have this one. Basically today, I'm gonna extract the DNA from the knife. Well, I've actually already extracted the blood from the knife and I've made a solution. See, to get DNA from blood, it comes from the white blood cells. So you've got the red blood cells don't hold DNA, the white blood cells do. And how you get the DNA from the white blood cells is you use a centrifuge to spin the blood, to separate the white and the red, and then you can extract the white blood cells. You need a sugar solution in order for them to separate, but that's already been done. The knife's in the freezer, the blood's in the freezer, everything's ready to go. I'm taking this to a new level. Dude, I'm going CSI on this motherfucker, dude. We're gonna bust this out. Keith Richards, DNA, boom. Let's just go over what we're gonna do. Step 1, frozen blood, sample, incubate 50 degrees for 90 minutes. Step 2, the blood is mixed with a sugar solution that you need to separate the red and blood cells, as I said before. Step 3, we're gonna spin in the centrifuge for a couple of minutes. Step 4, we dispose of the non-DNA red blood cells. So basically, we're just gonna extract the white blood cells from the tube. Keep white blood cells with the DNA, put white blood cells into organic alkali feed solution. Alkaline, no acid in there. This feed is going to a CBD grower in Europe and a cannabis grower in Cali. All good, grow this legally. Then we're gonna freeze it at -22. So let's see what we can pull off. My stash is in the freezer. It's been there for years. I'm gonna open this up, we're gonna get busy. Keith Richards' blood. So you can see what he's done. As he's put his finger in there, you do that, and he's caught it there. There's the blood there and there. Very fucking cool. Right, my favourite bit, the blood is now being incubated in the oven for about an hour and a half, probably a little bit longer. So we are ready to go to the centrifuge and separate the white from the red blood cells. A little sample there, looking rather fabulous. Get the centrifuge, put that in there like that. Let's go.
A few minutes later.
Right, centrifuge action in the house. Here we go. It should be separated, hopefully. Look at that. White blood cells, red blood cells. Remember, the white blood cells contain the DNA, the red blood cells don't. So now we've got to get the blood cells out. Just going to extract the white blood cells. We're going to do the final thing here, and we're going to put the white blood cells into the alkaline feed. I'm going to put a little bit into the glass. Keith Richard, white blood cell. Keith Richard, white blood cell, cannabis feed, which we will then pour back into the bottle, give it a little shake up. Now the fun part really begins. So this will now go off to Northern California, around Humboldt area, and it will be given to a friend of mine who is going to grow KR Kush. The feed makes it Keith Richards, so he's going to grow a nice OG Kush, and he's going to be with KR Kush DNA. We'll extract the terps, bring the terps back to the UK, and then we'll be able to do all strange and wonderful things with them. So, boom, KR Kush. I'm sorry, Keith, so don't sue me.